Hey everyone, it's Gordon Causey once again, and today it is now, hey, get out. It's now the 14th of July, uh, 2023, 11:45 p.m. on this Friday. Soon, very soon, 15 more minutes until Saturday. And I wanted to do a quick video about something that dropped this week, but something we should have, I think most will have been aware of it already, but I'll deal with Candy first. Sit, shake, lay down, speak, speak, speak. There we go. Most will have already been aware that there was a planned booster shot coming out in the fall. It more or less got something of a formal announcement in my home country of Canada this week. I've linked an article down below in the description to this video. It's from Canada's CTV, which is Bell Media. It's one of the mainstream networks in Canada, one of the government funded. They're subsidized by Canada's federal government. For those unaware, in Canada, the mainstream media outlets, sometimes called legacy media, outfits like Global, CTV, newspaper chains, and the like, the mainstream, because the internet has hammered their revenue streams, the government doles out, and I believe it's somewhere in the neighborhood of $400 million each year is spread around to various media outlets. And that's leaving out CBC, which the government already owns. It's a crown corporation. Anyway, this was from 3 days ago, updated July 11th. And it's a wire story. It was put out by the Canadian Press. And it says, Canadians should get another Yes, Canadians should get another COVID-19 vaccine booster in the fall if it's been at least 6 months since their last dose or COVID-19 infection, the National Advisory Committee on Immunization said on Tuesday. That's the NACI, National Advisory Committee on Immunization. Then it quotes a statement from NACI. Booster doses in the fall will be formulations updated to target more recent immune-evasive SARS-CoV-2 variants. And goes on, individuals vaccinated with the updated formulation are expected to benefit from a better immune response against these variants compared to the current vaccines. Yeah, I'm throwing my tone in there intentionally. Both Pfizer, BioNTech, and Moderna have started the process to get the new formulations of their mRNA COVID-19 vaccines approved by Health Canada, the department said in an email to the Canadian Press. And then another quote, this regulatory review has not yet been completed, Health Canada said. More information on this vaccine, including the authorized age groups, will be available in the coming months. That's interesting. We have the National Advisory Committee on Immunization telling Canadians to get this shot, and yet we have Health Canada saying that the regulatory review has not yet been completed. So it strikes me, non-expert opinion, the regulatory review is just a rubber stamp. It will be authorized to be used, and I think it is wise at this point to expect it to be first, I suspect it will be strongly urged, and then later I can envision it being mandated. If you go back to 2021, when the initial two-dose series was first introduced, Canadians were assured by our Prime Minister, Justin Blackface Trudeau, that Canadians would not be required to get the shot. Urged, compelled, strongest possible language, but no one would be forced to get it. That's what we were told when they first started rolling out in Canada. They didn't really start get rolling until March, April, May, because there was a supply issue. Canada was at the end of the line. Oh, darn. Well, once those supply issues were addressed and Canada had an ample supply, April, May, June, they really started to push. And a lot of Canadians were saying no. And we all know what happened come the fall in my province on September 22nd. They introduced the vaccine passport. I remember the date well because it's my wedding anniversary. September 22nd, unless you were jabbed, if you wanted to go out to celebrate an anniversary dinner, you had to show proof that you had had 2 doses, or I forget exactly how it worked, whether 1 dose was good enough initially or whatever, but everyone was expected to have this. Could this happen again? I think I obviously think it's possible. And in fact, I would go so far as to say, I think that it is probable. And I think what happened last time is those who didn't want to get the shot were caught off guard. We were pushed back on our heels, so to speak, because we had been assured that it wouldn't be mandated, that it wouldn't be forced. And then in the fall, we found out, if you want, well, we're not forcing you, but if you want to be able to afford to live, if you need to work, well, then you have to get it. Oh, you want to go visit a dying relative and it's, you need to get on a plane, well, then you have to have it. You want to take your kid to a hockey arena, an ice arena for figure skating or hockey or whatever. Well, then you have to have it. That is coercion, which is something that violates an agreement to which Canada is a signatory that has been around ever since the closing days, just after World War II. They brought out what is called the Nuremberg Code, and it prevents signatories to the Nuremberg Code, of which Canada is one, state that those nations, those member states, will not engage in coercive measures to force a medical procedure of any type on an individual. And yet, we all saw what happened. And currently, it's not mandated. As a matter of fact, it's not mandated. Well, I do believe there are some industries in Canada that still mandate it. But broadly speaking, you don't need it to go to a restaurant anymore. You don't need it for any of those. Most employers are not requiring it. However, we saw what happened. And the powers that implemented that agenda have now, if it is coming, they're planning it. And what I'm going to suggest is to get out in front of it. And we all, in marketing, and I have something of a marketing background. Before joining the Army, I worked in the marketing industry. And marketing is about branding. It's about messaging. It's about flooding the marketplace with a message so that people encounter it everywhere. That's why we see Nike logoed merchandise and it always says, just do it. If I say Maxwell House, the first words that will come to many people's minds is good to the last drop. If you say Donald Trump, people say MAGA, make America great again. If you say Doug Ford, for the people. These are branding statements, and they're used to more or less circumvent a person's critical thinking and their higher thought process and just make things an automatic knee-jerk reaction so that we have an association. COVID vaccine, safe and effective. COVID vaccine, safe and effective. Repeat it over and over and over again. The collective IQ is in the double digits in Canada and the United States and Western Europe. I mean, we've gotten, people have outsourced their brains to their smartphones. The phones are smart, the people are dumb. And so what I'm going to suggest is, and I can't do this myself, and I'm a pipsqueak. I'm a fart in a hurricane. I have a miserable, pathetic little YouTube channel, and this video might get watched a couple dozen times. For me, if one of my little pathetic, miserable videos goes viral, viral for me means 100, 150 maybe. I'm not Joe Rogan. I'm not Jordan Peterson. I'm not Ben Shapiro. I'm not the Young Turks. I'm not Alex Jones. Just some guy, Joe Schmo, with his Enough is Enough t-shirt. And this speaks to the way I feel a lot of the time. Oh, I've had it. Enough is enough. And so the manner in which I'm going to suggest that we push back is in the same manner that they use to ensure compliance, and that is to flood social media. It doesn't matter whether it's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Reddit, TikTok videos. I don't do those. Too much of a dinosaur. Basically, my only footprint in the social media space, I'm on Facebook under my own name. I'm also on Twitter. I think my handle is Gordy Canuck, with Canuck spelled C-A-N-U-K. I think when I typed it out the very first time all those years ago, I think it was 2007-8, I skipped the C, so it's more like Gordy Canuck, but that's my Twitter handle. I'm on Reddit as Grow a Set, and that's pretty much it. I do have an Instagram account, but I never use Instagram because I don't have a smartphone. And so that's my little sphere. But everyone, if maybe 24 people see this, and if maybe 4 or 5 are motivated and who think this is a good idea, things can snowball. Things can snowball. You can start out with just something very small. It takes time. It's not the way the players of this world, it's not the way the WEF types and their corporate, academic, and government agents can operate, because they have unlimited resources and they can make things appear. They can create the illusion of mass popularity. They can flood a YouTube video, for example, with subscribers and likes, and they even get AI generated comments. Oh, great, fantastic, super. This world is so manipulated that it's hard to know what's real anymore. But the point I'm making is that even if we flood social media with negative opinion, negative view, negative branding statements. Effective was one of the branding statements that was used to describe the initial 2-dose and the series, the ones that followed. I mean, some people right now, I believe, are up to number 7. A vaccine that we were told at the beginning in early 2021, we were told after 2 doses, you will have long-lasting, durable, and sterilizing immunity to infection. And obviously, then you will not be able to transmit the virus. And that was drilled into everyone's tiny little brain, and people just repeated it back mindlessly. Well, they're safe and effective. And now people are on dose number 7, but not many. I have some stats here. This is from healthinfobasecanada.ca. This is from Health Canada about booster uptake. And how many people in the last 6 months have either completed the primary series or gotten a booster? So how many people have rolled up their sleeves in the last 6 months, which is what is recommended. Health Canada recommends that you go no more than 6 months. If it's been 6 months since you were either last boosted or since your last infection, that you roll up your sleeve again. Well, of Canada's total population of 40-odd million people, only 2.2 million, 2,235,507 have gotten a shot within the last 6 months. So only 5.2 5.7% of the Canadian population is up to date as per Health Canada advice. If you look at the population of Canada of those who are 5 years or older, it's 5.9%. So basically over 94% of Canadians are not up to date and are not following health, are not up to date on Health Canada's advice. If you look at, and again, this is Health Canada from their info base, for Canadians aged 80 and older, so these are the individuals who we were told are most at threat, most at risk of Canada's population aged 80 years and up, only 21.9% have gotten a shot within the last 6 months. So 78%, 78.1, almost 80% of even those who are said to be at the greatest risk, they're not up to date on their boosters. I will mention again, I notice I have had someone watching. If you want to chat, if you want to put up a comment, if you have a suggestion for me, if you want to tell me you think I'm crazy, any of the above, it's available, and always comments will be welcome down below. But I started putting out a number of different messages. I think I've got to be somewhat careful here. I'm not giving advice. I'm just stating the numbers. It's according to Health Canada, 96% of the total population, over 96% of the population, is tapped out on the advice being given. Everyone's being urged to get a booster every 6 months, and 96% of Canadians, over 96%, nope, not doing it. They haven't. What reason? Well, what happens in the fall if we sit back and say, well, they won't force this one? You don't think so? One of the suggestions I have is make comparison to the Titanic submersible, the one that from the news that recently went down there and ended up at the bottom of the ocean. Because I'm not a virologist, immunologist, vaccinologist, but one of the terms I've heard repeatedly is leaky, with reference that vaccines can be leaky, that they can leak, that they don't seal you off. So I think that's a reasonable comparison to make. Hop on the submersible. What could go wrong? Roll up your sleeve again. What could go wrong? These are the kind of ideas that are ruminating around in my own little head. And if you check out my my Facebook or my Twitter or my Reddit accounts, you'll see I'm starting to push out some of these type of messages. And if anyone likes anything that I've done, you're more than welcome to cut and paste, share it out, do with it whatever you like. It's open domain, as everyone should know by now. I've said it often enough. My channel isn't monetized. I do this for my own, I call it catharsis. It helps me work through my thought process. And it also, sometimes I want to get my ideas, my thoughts, my views out there. And this puts them out there. So that's what I'm doing right here. But I'm going to keep this under 20 minutes. I know it's a David and Goliath struggle, but even those who don't know the Bible know the story of David and Goliath. And if you don't, I strongly recommend you pick it up. Give it a read. Little shepherd boy. And he defeated a massive giant from the Philistines. So can we collectively, little Davids, hurl enough stones to take down the giant? It's worth trying. And I'll leave it there. I'll keep it under 20 minutes. God bless. T-shirt said, enough is enough. Open up all small business now. I think that's what it said. And I got this up in Peterborough during a rally, freedom type rally in March, April of 2021. God bless everyone. We'll talk to you again. And as always, likes, shares, comments, all of the above. This is a pathetic, miserable little channel. Maybe you can help it grow a little bit. Thanks. Talk to you.